we're here
Yeah.
to talk about We Were Here.
Were we here?
We're here.
We're here.
I'm starting again.
What?
Okay. So there's not a lot of history to talk about here, so I'll get it out of the way. They're made by Total Mayhem Games,
Yeah.
who have made nothing else ever.
At all?
This is it. These three games.
Fair enough.
As far as I can, if they've made
Fair
something,
enough, yeah.
they're not showing it off.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know. I can't even tell you if they did well. I can't tell you the budget. I can't really tell you anything about them. There's not a lot. So they're gonna have to stand up on gameplay alone because there's no history to bolster this video.
Okay, fair enough.
So we'll get right into it.
Yeah.
With the first one, which we haven't played recently. It was a bit ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
Do you want to describe the core concept of We Were Here?
Okay. You're two explorers that get trapped in separate sections of some kind of castle. And things you do in one room will affect the other room. And it's basically just a puzzle game. But you have to communicate to solve them.
You have to describe something to someone so they can solve something.
Yeah.
Now, you love this kind of shit.
I do. I love this kind of game. I love puzzle games.
It frustrates me.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. If you say so.
I like the fact that you have to work together in this. I
Mm.
really love that. It's a great game to play with friends. It's just a cool concept. Something where you have to talk. You have to communicate to figure out what's going on.
It's quite unique as a puzzle game.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's fairly obvious that
Yeah.
I'm not big on puzzle games. I don't want to think. I think a lot of puzzle games fall into the trap of just being guesswork,
Yeah.
trial and error, faffy, just being annoying.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I find a puzzle game. Portal, very good puzzle game.
Yeah.
Makes me think, not impossible. And it's not one set way. Sometimes you can kind of just mess around and accidentally do it.
Yeah, that is true.
And I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
The one thing I give this, because I can't really comment on it as a puzzle game, as someone who doesn't like puzzle games. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
It's got a really good tone.
It does.
I like the blizzard. It does a good. I feel trapped.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to escape, and nothing's told me that I'm trying to escape, but I
No.
feel like I am, and I think that's the intent.
Yeah. And because you feel very alienated from the other person, especially because you can play with random people just in the world.
I wouldn't even try.
I wouldn't try that. It's a game you want to play with someone that you can communicate with. It can definitely... I'd probably say make sure you can play with someone that you can communicate very well with. For example, if you're playing with siblings or friends or a partner, it might test your relationship in one way or another.
If you're prone to arguments,
Maybe
don't
don't play
bother.
it.
Yeah, give it a miss. It's not the one for you guys.
Yeah. But it's a very fun game. It's interesting because you have to... It's trying to describe something that's in front of you, but it's not... It's like trying to describe a shape. But it's like...
You can do it, it's difficult, then.
Yeah, it's like this random shape that doesn't actually exist in real life. It's not a normal shape.
It's made up of squares and circles and lines and...
And you have to just figure out how to describe this because someone else has to match what they're seeing to what you're seeing. But because you can't see each other's screens, you'll say bollocks like it's a stick man that's upside down with a triangle on its arms, and it's like...
And I'm like, come on, this is really obvious. It's a stick man with a triangle on its arms. And you'll be like, no, it's not, because there are 7 different triangle stick men here.
It's like, where's the triangle?
And you're being timed,
Yeah.
and usually there's some kind of ticking clock that you can hear.
Yeah.
It's very stressful.
Not all of them, which I
Not all of them.
appreciate. I appreciate some of them you can take your time and some of them are rushed. It gives a bit of a difference.
The more complex ones.
Yeah.
And that's more the later games.
Yeah.
So just going for the first one.
They're not all time the first one.
I'm sure
they are.
most of them are. Some of them are in different ways.
I think it's about 50-50 with all of them.
Probably.
Yeah.
I remember the second one. Either way.
Anyway.
That's probably just me not paying attention and just gliding through and letting you do all the legwork.
It definitely is. What?
The first one, bought on the whim.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm lying. I didn't buy it on the
Did you
whim.
not?
It was Games with Gold. It was free.
Oh, it was, yeah.
It was free, and
I
you
remember
like
that.
puzzle games, and I'm an idiot, so I said, okay, sure, I'll give this a go.
Yeah.
And it took me by surprise.
Yeah, it really
It's
did.
very simple.
Yeah.
It's very short, but it's really well crafted, and it does a lot in the time that it has.
And also, the puzzles, sometimes you'll see the puzzle, and you'll be like, what the f*** am I doing here? But then, after about half an hour f***ing around and kind of trying to work it out, when you crack it, you can finish the puzzle and you're like, I'm proud of myself for doing this. Like,
you figured it.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of accomplishment.
I get you.
Yeah.
Progression. You're always moving forward, and you always feel good for moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
As a first game, I don't know Total Mayhem games. I don't know if they're made up of people who've made games before. I don't know if they've been helping. I don't know where this company's come from.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've actually done anything before this, but as far as I can find, they haven't. It's completely new. I don't know how many people it is. It could be one guy for all I know. But as a first game,
yeah,
really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Really good. They had a set amount of resources. They did something ambitious and unique, but they didn't overshoot. Yeah, as We Were Here is a really well-crafted puzzle game.
Yeah.
That I felt tested our communication, but never our friendship.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cheesy way of putting it, but yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can really say about the first one, apart from your favourite bit.
Yes.
Which is what this video is mostly going to be talking about.
Yeah.
So go on.
Right, well, first of all, to mention, we're not spoiling anything.
There's not a lot of story in these games.
No.
It's mostly visuals and solutions to the puzzles.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless the solution to the puzzle was stupid, which some of these I think are.
Yeah.
Or if we did it by pure dumb luck.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention how to solve them.
Yeah.
Because that's ruining it. That's not the point. Visuals, fair game.
Yeah.
If at any point you're sold on these games, stop the video and go play them. But if you need more, we're going to keep adding more.
Yeah.
And along the way, you might get some visual spoilers.
What I'd say is, if I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about now, that is a visual spoiler. And honestly, do you want to wait to
the end? Do you want to just talk about the games?
Let's talk about the games.
And then we'll...
Yeah.
Okay, alright, fine. So, We Were Here too. I don't like it very much.
The atmosphere wasn't as good.
I don't think any of it was as good.
No, yeah. The puzzles... I don't remember the puzzles. I think that's it.
I remember them, but they didn't stand out.
I do remember them. They weren't... Yeah, none of them stood out. None of them were particularly interesting. And they all seemed kind of random. They didn't seem to have a reason.
Or basic.
Rehashes
of the first game.
Yeah.
The one that stood out to me as the worst.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons.
Statue?
Yeah, the Knightless armors when you had to match for 2 reasons. Essentially, what you have to do, it's not complex. It's not. I'm not giving anything away. It's quite obvious. You just have to tell the person on one end what the knights have.
Yeah.
On your end, so that person can then do the same on their end to stop a wall.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's just basic.
Yeah.
Halfway through the second game, it's like, we've done this. I've done this before. This is really simple shit.
Yeah.
It's nothing special, unique. And describing swords could be interesting, but the swords are all kind of similar to the point where it's just annoying.
Yeah.
And it's guesswork, because it's like, it's kind of a sword. It's not a straight sword. It's got spikes on it. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And you're like, right, I've got 4 of them.
Yeah.
And you go, well, I can't describe any more than that.
Yeah.
Because it's just a sword. But the bit that annoyed the most was that we couldn't do it the first time.
Oh, yeah. That was very annoying because there was some kind of glitch. I don't know what was wrong, but yeah, we physically couldn't put the sword or the axe or whatever it was in the right hand because for some reason it just didn't want to.
It wouldn't register it.
Which meant we couldn't finish the puzzle.
So we had to quit out, get back in it again.
Which kind of ruins the momentum when you're trying to play a game.
Well, yeah, completely. I don't know if that's a common bug.
No, probably not.
To be fair, I didn't experience anything else like that really throughout.
Yeah.
I didn't like the maze puzzle in the second one.
Oh, the maze puzzle. That was a faff because it wasn't really a puzzle.
I was looking for, because it's just, you just tell them where to go, but it's so pressured to the point of being annoying, not stressful.
The timing is too quick.
Mm.
At least on the first couple, because you'll run and you'll do it almost instantly. And for some reason, the time goes off before you
feels like
finish
50-50 if you're going to make it on time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like something you've earned. It just feels like, I can't run faster than this.
It's something you've suffered through.
Yeah.
You don't own it, you suffer through it and you move on.
Yeah, it's not a puzzle, it's just a thing.
Spoiling the endings. I think we can spoil it. There's not any story to these games, and I think the endings are stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can call them spoilers. because there's no build up, there's no middle. It just makes you do them at the end.
Yeah.
There's no puzzle either.
Yeah.
So essentially, at the end of the first game, you can open a gate, but one of you has to hold it open while the other one leaves.
Yeah.
And if you leave that lever or whatever it was, the gate closes. So one of you has to leave the other one behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
There's no game after that. There's no penalty. There's no thing. It's not like there's any extra gameplay. It's just you walk out, there's a cutscene of an identical character walking through the snow, and then the game ends.
I don't mind that, because I mean the first time it was kind of like I will sacrifice myself for you to go on. Okay,
yeah, all right, that's the thing. The first time.
Nice. Yeah, the first
time.
Yeah.
The second one asks you to do the exact same thing again.
But my problem with this one is, I mean, to be fair, there were some books that maybe would have told us this.
Levers.
No, but there were some books around.
I think
maybe if we'd read.
I think it's to both get out in the second one. It's very obvious that you need to pull. There are a handful of levers in each room. There's like levers. However many.
Yeah.
There are levers that I think if you pull throughout one playthrough, if you pull them all, you probably both escape. And your cutscene, instead of one person walking through the snow, it'd be two identical people walking through the snow, and then the game would end. Not enough to make me replay the game again, finding all these random levers on the wall.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it is, but I think it might be written in one of the books, some kind of thing.
I didn't need it written to me.
Maybe both of you can escape, or I don't know.
I didn't need it written to me.
Yeah.
I think as soon as you found a lever and you said I pulled it, nothing happened. I went, okay. And then I found another one that pulled it, nothing happened. I went, right. There are going to be loads of hidden things, and we'll unlock something if we pull them all.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
You should have said. Both escaped.
We would have already missed some. I'm not replaying the whole game again. Doing puzzles I already know how to do.
Yeah.
That I didn't like the first time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the second one wasn't fantastic.
It was like the first. It was like the first, just not as memorable.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one had a lot more to it, I think. It had a lot more personality.
It didn't do anything different. It didn't evolve. It didn't make it better.
Yeah.
But there was no surprise. And I paid money for it.
I guess that's another thing.
There's a bit at the end that, again, we'll track back to at the end of all of it. There is one bit that makes you like this game.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just saying I hate it, and you're kind of just, I don't like it, so you're agreeing. Do you like this one?
I don't like it as much, no. I wanted to like it, but it just wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as it could have been. I think in the first one, it felt like the puzzles kind of made sense to what we were doing. I felt tested.
But not unreasonably.
Yeah, and I felt like I was in a location doing a thing for a reason, kind of. I don't know. But in the second one, it was like, we have 4 knights, and you have to turn a wheel so the other person doesn't get squished. And it's like, but why? Why is...
I don't know. It's progression. The first game has some good challenges that you want to figure out and move on. And you get into that. The second game, the challenges weren't as good.
No.
The atmosphere wasn't as good.
No.
So I cared less.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I was bored throughout the second one. While the first one... There are times where we're trying to figure out a puzzle. In the first one, I was always there with you trying to do it.
Yeah.
In the second one, and by extent some of the third,
there
were times when we were trying to figure out what we're supposed to do, and I just played on my phone while you had a look around because I was done.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, first one's better.
The first one did captivate us more.
But then there's the third. And this is the most interesting of the bunch.
The third really is interesting because I think atmospherically, it was great.
Everything we've complained about the second one, I think they fix.
Fully, 100%. I was getting really into the atmosphere. All of the rooms looked different. There were a couple of puzzles that were kind of a bit ridiculous.
There was some in here.
Yeah, there was some ridiculous puzzles. But the atmosphere was great. You went into a room and you're like, ooh, this is different. I kind of know where I'd be. Or every puzzle kind of made sense to their room, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And there were some really interesting sections where you had to do puzzle, and it was timed, but kind of a logical timed, or...
It had a good blend. It had a good blend of you sit and you figure this out, and you move on when you figure it out.
Yeah.
And you need to figure this out now.
But they kind of threw some of those at you quite quickly. Like the well.
The well I enjoyed because I I could see the thing in front of me.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy to do, but I could see what the idea was.
Yeah.
I have to move these cogs to these ladder things and wait for the right... And you told me they move, and I wait for the right timing to stop them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
No, not at all.
And they're the best ones. They're the ones
Yeah.
that really excel. There are some ones in here I don't like. Some trial and error. I cannot stand trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error is bollocks.
What's the point? Why are you
There's no
wasting my
point.
time? If that is
Yeah.
if the easiest way to solve your puzzle is trial and error, it's not a puzzle.
Yeah,
It's gambling.
I get
It's
you.
a guessing game. It's mess around till it works. I'm not doing anything there. I'm just clicking buttons
I
until
guess
you tell
it's
me
not
I
a
can
puzzle
stop.
game at that point.
It's not.
No.
And there's a few of those in here.
Yeah, there really are. There's
There's a
quite
few
a lot
of
of
those.
them.
So it's not wholly negative, because I did enjoy these. I enjoyed the experience with you.
100%. I enjoyed the puzzles on most of them.
The music,
The music
the
was
very
really
little that was
nice.
there,
Yeah.
was very well placed and used. Mostly it's just atmosphere, it's background sound.
Yeah. Which I'm glad there wasn't consistent music, because that would have driven
Well,
me
that's the
nuts.
atmosphere, that's what does it.
Yeah.
But on the few occasions there are music, the music is very well made.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of voice acting in this one.
Yeah.
It's not going to win any BAFTAs.
No, but it's
but-
not bad.
It's very well done.
Yeah.
For a company that I don't think has much budget,
Yeah.
I think it's quite well done.
I was surprised at a lot of section of this game at how much there was going on, and how big the areas were.
Yeah, I get you. It looks like the production value was upped.
Yeah.
Which it probably was. They probably made their money from the other two, which
Oh,
meant they
yeah.
could put more money into this one, and you can see that.
Yeah, definitely.
The biggest addition that they kind of boasted about this,
Yeah.
that it has over the other two, is it promised some story,
Yeah. And that's kind of
and it has none.
it's not the story that it has, and the story that it added in. First of all, was right at the end.
It's not a story.
There was like random bits in that kind of intrigued me, and I was interested to see where it was going.
But they mean the bits that shows you some little random cutscenes with a stranger guy and
Yeah.
some illusion sword things. They don't mean anything
No.
until the very end.
Yeah.
But a story needs a beginning and a middle.
Yeah. But also the ending was kind of lacking.
Well, there's nothing to it.
There's nothing to it, and I feel like it kind of ruined the atmosphere of the game.
We'll get on to the spoilers now.
Yeah.
So we'll round back to the beginning. Cast your minds back to 5 minutes ago when we were talking about the first game. There's a puzzle in the first game that
Yeah.
and I think this is the sole thing that sold the game to you.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you wanna,
Right, because obviously I like puzzle games, but one thing that I really enjoy is things that kind of spook me for no reason. Right, this game has like a character called the Marionette. It's not really a character, and there's no reason why it's there, which is why it's creepier. But it's just because this is a 3D world, and it's kind of this 2D shadow figure that it doesn't move.
well, you don't see it move.
You don't see it move. It just... You turn around... There's one puzzle where you're in a theatre and you turn around and one of you is pulling levers.
One of you is somewhere else pulling a lever,
Yeah.
and that moves you have to make the stage play the way it's described.
Yeah.
And the other person has to describe it to him.
Yeah.
But behind the other person in the seat area of the theatre, there's a...
But the thing is, it's not obvious. It doesn't mention
Well, you didn't know what it
anything
was
about
at first. There's no ticking clock. You
I
don't
didn't
hear
even
anything.
know it was a thing.
You just turned around halfway through and it was a lot
Yeah.
closer.
I just looked. It wasn't behind me at first, and we were doing it, and I was waiting for you to do something, so I just looked around and I saw it, and then I was just panicking, and you were still pulling levers, and I was just like, this thing is moving. I don't know what it is, and it just kept getting closer and closer. And I have no idea. I didn't know what it was. I knew I would probably die if it came towards me. And it just gave me a weird sense of dread. And I don't know why.
It's that fear of the unknown.
It's the fear of the unknown. I had no idea what it was. And when we finally got through that puzzle, I actually had a weird sense of relief.
You need to detox a little bit after that.
Yeah. But it was so good. I don't know. It affected me a lot, but really it's something that, and it's a reason why we mentioned that it was a spoiler, because I wouldn't have had the same reaction if I knew about this.
I get you.
Because it was such...
It was out of nowhere.
It was so out of nowhere.
It's some of the best scares in games
Yeah.
aren't in horror games. Because you load up a horror game,
Yeah.
you're expecting to be scared, but if you load up something else that doesn't...
And it just kind of throws it in.
Yeah.
It's great.
You're not ready for it, you don't know what to
love
expect.
that.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
That was the thing, we didn't know anything about this game, we just
No,
played
not
up and
at all.
played it, so anything could have happened.
Yeah. I just expected it to be a random puzzle game. And then that happened, and it was just fun.
You kind of struggle to describe... Like, you don't understand why it made you afraid.
No.
You kind of struggle to describe why it made you afraid.
Yeah.
I get it, fully.
Yeah.
I don't get that. That didn't make me afraid. It didn't bother me.
You weren't there.
You weren't there, man. No, I wasn't
You
there.
weren't experiencing it for the first time.
I looked at your screen then. We don't usually look at each other's screen, but you were saying this thing's come in. And after a bit I was like, right, what is this thing? So I did have a look at it. The feeling you felt, because it's what I felt when I played PT. It's not that it's just a scary thing and looks scary.
Yeah.
It's you've played it before, you've played it through, you know kind of what to expect.
Yeah.
And then you play it again, and you're at a certain bit, and you look up, and they're just on a balcony looking at you.
Yeah.
And you never knew they were there. And you're like, were they always there? When did they get there? Have they always been doing that? Could they be anywhere else?
Yeah.
And you don't know. And you can't predict.
Yeah.
And which is what people are. That's what fear comes from. It's
exactly.
It's the inability to not be able to predict what's going to happen to you.
Yeah. Oh, it was so
Very
strange.
striking.
Yeah.
And that made the game stand out.
Also because I don't know whether I believe in ghosts, but I love the idea of ghosts. I like.
You like the aesthetic of ghosts?
Like, I'll watch a lot of Nuke's Top 5 because...
Shout out to Nuke's Top 5.
He doesn't need it, but...
He doesn't need it, but...
Because it's just fun, and it's the idea of shadow creatures that are just there. It was that visual of just like a weird shadow creature, like a weird demonic... Because also, it's a weird shape. I don't know what I can't picture the shape, but we'll show it. But it's
very jagged.
It looks like a creature. It doesn't look like
it's
a human.
It's very spiky. It's not.
Yeah. It looks like something with wings.
It's the white eyes as well. It's just the piercing.
Oh, the horrible piercing glowing eyes.
It's so abstract that it's just a thing, and it almost doesn't even look like it's alive in any way.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of. It's very abstract, and it's very difficult to pin down. We played the second game.
Yeah.
And we didn't experience anything like that.
Not at all.
Anything as strong. Kind of dull. We finished it. Again, one of us had to leave, while the other one stayed behind.
Yeah.
Same old, same old.
We wanted to get the achievement.
I got the achievement. I thought I want to get the achievement the other way around because I want to. Well, I kind of want to have a look, see if there was a way we could both get out that we just didn't realise. And I was like, the lever thing, of course. And I also wanted the achievement. And then you spotted it again.
Oh my god. It was horrible. It was. Because I was downstairs because I was going to pull the gate.
Because I was going to leave this time.
I saw you just went into the elevator and I was just watching and I saw you go up and I saw behind you, there was some just two glowing dots.
Somewhat black shape and two...
No, at first I just saw two glowing dots behind you and I was like, okay, that's just some light. And then the elevator lifted up and there was that fucking shadow creature that freaked me out in the first game. And
it disappeared.
And then it just
vanished. Poofed.
I was like a deer in the headlights. I just looked at it. I was like... because I was like, the fact that we missed that I didn't notice it the first time. And then apparently it was randomly in the game.
Oh yeah, we had a look at it.
And we haven't looked for videos because I don't think there are any.
There's not a lot about this game, but I saw a Reddit where some guy says like we should do a spotter's guide to see how many times, because I've seen it a few times, and it's like
it's kind of cool
and kind of creepy
because it means he was there the whole time.
The PT thing,
exactly.
She's on the balcony.
Yeah.
How long has she been there? I didn't even notice she was there. Is she there all the time?
Yeah.
Is this new? What does it mean? It's subtle.
It's subtle
horror.
Yeah, stuff like that really freaks me out. But so that kind of made me like the second game because that idea that it was always there. The puzzles weren't as good, the atmosphere wasn't as good, but that in itself was something for me. But then the third game came along.
I'll read the description of the third game, the blurb or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, go for it.
So there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a long thing, so I'm just going to read the two bits that made us think that this would have a more storied focus on the creepy horror aspects.
Yeah.
Sam, embark on a puzzle-solving adventure in which you and a partner must prove you can communicate and work together to escape the haunted Castle Rock. Haunted. Straight away. Spooky shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then all the way at the end, it kind of does a lot of stuff about puzzles and whatever.
Yeah.
It just says, the last paragraph is, we are not alone. Oh, sorry. So the last paragraph just says, we were not alone.
Yeah.
Darkness has engulfed the once magnificent Castle Rock and its surroundings. Can you discover the truth behind the grim fate of the fallen citadel and make it out alive? Or will the original inhabitants catch you on your way out? That's that sounds like a horror game.
Yeah.
Not a scary one necessarily,
No.
but it sounds like it's going to show more of those elements.
Yeah. But because it had... Because obviously it's a follow-on... Not a follow-on from the other games, but it is the third one in the series. And this shadow creature had been in the last 2 games. I kind of automatically assumed that this would be about this shadow creature.
I think it's
and
supposed to be.
it would be the Jester, is what they call it.
Yeah, that's what it goes.
In the third game.
There's a lot. No one knows what it's called, but some people assume it's the same thing.
Yeah.
May as well not be.
No, I honestly, if if that's what they were going for, it would ruin it.
They fluffed it.
Yeah.
Only appears in the last 5 minutes for a split second to only one of the players, really.
Yeah.
And it was me, which is upsetting because you were the one who cared more.
Yeah. But yeah, the story in the third one was lacking quite a bit.
They promised story, and the story is borderline non-existent.
Yeah.
It may as well have the same amount of story as the first. It's just got a bit of a cutscene at the end.
If they hadn't boasted the story and they hadn't phrased it in that way.
If they'd just gone more of the same.
Yeah.
We might have been surprised by the tiny little bit of story we got at the end.
Yeah, exactly. But I was really excited for it because of that.
Yeah, it promised story and it really didn't deliver.
Yeah.
And once again, you're asked to decide who lives and who dies.
Yeah.
Again. Except this time it looks stupider.
Yeah, okay, again, spoilers, but with this one, because first of all, you each have separate paths, but one of you has cutscenes with a sword and the other person has cutscenes with a stranger. And for some reason, the last cutscene it switches, which I don't really understand why.
I don't know if we did something or if it just wanted you to get it wanted both players to get a bit of both sides.
I think that's what it wanted.
But that kind of ruins the reveal of the stranger being the bad guy.
Because you don't know the
as
stranger.
though it's a reveal.
Yeah. But pretty much I started with the stranger, ended up with the sword. And then at the end, I had the sword and we'd fixed everything, but
some random ghost lady was like, oh no, one of you needs to sacrifice yourself.
Yeah, because they needed a sword, a soul or something.
It doesn't matter. I don't think much thought was put into it, and I don't think much thought should be thought about it.
No, but what I think is funny, because like, when I'm holding the sword, so there's 2 options. You can kill yourself, or you can stab your partner. And I feel like the only option really is to stab yourself, otherwise you're just kind of
a
dick.
Yeah. You just murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
because also it's very slow, so you just be slowly inserting a knife into someone.
That's my issue with this as an ending, because the other 2, as basic as they were, and as the fact that the second one just copied the first one, at least it's a case of, do you know, like you care.
Yeah.
Right? But do you know, if you really did, if you were like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I'm not staying. I'm leaving. You stay. You have to work together.
Yeah.
Someone has to decide to hold leave while the person leaves. If you can't decide on who lives and who dies, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
This one, there's not even that.
No.
You just, one person holds a button.
Yeah.
And decides if they live or die. There's not even the entire game's about partnership.
Yeah.
And at the end of the first one, it kind of worked because you've been working together to both get out alive, and now you have to work together for only one of you to get out.
Yeah.
And it's not a mind-blowing emotional hit.
No.
But it's kind of cool little moment.
It was kind of cool. It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing, but with less interesting
with less control.
Parts. Yeah.
You had no control over it.
I just had to sit and wait for you to decide.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed because I was like, no, you kill me, you leave.
But
and then you stabbed yourself really slowly. And then it ended all of a sudden.
Do you think there's an option where you don't do that?
If there is, I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering.
Probably not.
Because there was a timer, so if the time went all the way down, do you think that might end differently?
No, I think you just get a game over and start again.
Maybe. No, I don't know.
Or it just decides. I don't think there's a secret in that one. And if there is, what would it change, really?
Maybe we'd both escape.
But do you care?
Yeah.
No.
I died. I care.
And I don't care.
Wow.
No, I don't. I personally don't think there's that, but I don't care if there is.
I'm gonna look at it. Not now, but I will.
After everything we've been through with these, they're not exactly long,
No.
but it
You
felt
can
like
play them in a day.
It felt like a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
And after that journey, I only have one question.
Okay.
What do they think gives them the right to end a game with no story on a cliffhanger?
Oh my god, I
Who
forgot
thought
about
that was okay? Who said this is a good idea? Let's do this.
Yeah.
No, just no. Fade to black, roll your credits, and fuck off.
Yeah. Because also, that ruins the sacrifice, doesn't it?
I don't care.
But is that whole thing where it's like, oh, I stab myself, oh, we have a long thing, you've fled, you might get rescued now. And I've died for this.
For nothing.
To save everything. And then it's like, oh, wait, no. Actually, the Jester and the King are fine now.
Do you remember that 3 seconds of story we just gave you?
Yeah.
It was all a lie. You've thought about it the whole time. You've been wrong. What a twist. That whole 3 seconds of story we gave you 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
What a twist.
On a
No.
cliffhanger.
No.
Especially because the King and the Jester aren't interesting at all. I don't care about them.
There's nothing there.
No. But yeah. That was a weird choice to have.
I'd buy a fourth one.
Yeah, 100%. If it came out again, I'd buy another.
I think...
I don't think they can get more expensive than like 15 quid, because
No.
I wouldn't pay more.
No, unless they made them longer and they added more story and they upped the ante a lot more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay any more than a tenner.
And if they showed something about this weird-ass puppet thing, what's it called?
I think no matter what you did, you would always find whatever explanation they gave of the marionette. You would always be disappointed.
I just want more of it.
But I think the more you do it, the less strong
Maybe.
it is. PT is a game that I think is incredibly scary.
Yeah.
But if there was a whole game about it, with
I guess.
explanations and story, even just more encounters with it, I don't think it would... It's scary because what is it? We'll never know.
Yeah.
And that's freaky.
Yeah, I guess. That's weird.
I think you'd always be disappointed.
I guess, yeah.
They could have at least tried a bit better with the same imagery, maybe.
Yeah, they could have.
But
they could have.
Throughout all of them, they're all fairly solid games. They're all incredibly well made. Even though I don't like the second one as much, and there's some shitty puzzles in there that are a bit buggy.
But it's still solid.
There was no lag between us that I found.
No,
at the time,
not
so
at all.
they're very synced.
Yeah.
A lot of puzzles. It's hard to do a lot of puzzles in a game because puzzles are. How do you do puzzles that haven't been done before?
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job at taking simple concepts and some more complex concepts.
Yeah.
And weaving them together to make a game that didn't feel too challenging.
Yeah.
But wasn't easy.
No. And I find a lot of joy in having to explain fucking weird shit.
But you're bad at
it.
Don't play this game with someone who can't describe things.
But no, it's funnier because it's like, for example, there are paintings of animals, and it's like,
it's a pigeon with a snail shell, and it's got 3 beaks, one on its head, one on its foot. Okay.
It's a lion with a beak and a snail hat.
Does it by any chance have
You'll hear that and you'll be like, what the fuck is that? But then you'll see the painting and you'll be like, actually, that's a perfect
description. Is the seagull holding a battle axe? Yes. I found it.
Yeah.
Don't take it seriously.
No,
it's not that kind of game, I think. I think it's a fun
game.
few hours that you spend with a friend or a family member that you can have a giggle with.
That's why I'm not sure I could play with someone across the world. Or maybe it would work, because maybe the people who are playing those games will have those kind of mentalities anyway.
I don't think I could play with quite a few people that I know. I think anyone who takes things seriously or gets frustrated when things aren't going their way, or if you know someone who you struggle to communicate with and maybe they get annoyed or don't know what you're on about, I think you're just gonna yell at each other. I imagine a fair few arguments have been
probably
started over this.
Not sure if I'd play this with a sibling.
Oh no,
that might be a risky game.
Unless you get along weirdly well.
Unless you get along really well, yeah.
It's a test of a relationship.
It really is. You have to have pretty good communication for it.
We came out stronger.
Yeah,
I think.
I think we went through this tunnel.
Hardened. Battle hardened. Right. That's it. Time's up. We're done.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything else to say?
No. It's fun. I'd play it.
I'd play it. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say at these bits.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something?
No. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I'll do. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.